Sam is hands down the best cinematographer that I've seen on YouTube. His editing skills are second to none, and his ability to create captivating videos leads to an engaged audience counting down the days until his next release video. His most recently updated video is titled "Why the New Mavic Air 2 is Replacing All My Other Drones" and has nearly 200,000 views within the first 7 days. Sam has really high engagement because he posts pretty infrequently and his content is amazing. His subscriber base expects nothing less than a highly professional video consisting of drone shots and high production quality video. In addition to reviewing this ad, I actually wanted to share some interesting insights and data into influencer marketing. We'll see some data on how much these influencers really make. Let's begin. Full disclosure, Sam mentions in the description that this was not an ad, but for all intents and purposes, I'm definitely treating it like an ad because it should be. And honestly, if I was DJI, I would absolutely use this video for YouTube ads and ads all across social media platforms. It's that good. But for this video, I want to see what you think DJI should pay for this ad. So before we even start, go ahead and drop a comment for what you think DJI should pay for this ad for someone with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and generally gets really high engagement rates.
So many of you know the Mavic Air has been my go-to drone for years now. It's tiny, I can fit like 12 batteries in my bag all the time, and I love the way it flies and maneuvers much more than any other drone.
Sam has built up incredible brand loyalty for his personal brand. Even though his subscribers know this is an ad, they'll still watch the entire video because Sam has built up a reputation over the past couple of years of always delivering some of the best content on the platform. This allows for brands to build up huge brand awareness simply by teaming up with someone with such a big audience, but also they can build up a large amount of brand equity simply because they're aligning themselves with someone who is known for such high quality content. Think about it, if Sam uses this product to create great content quality, then of course the product itself must be amazing.
So when DJI had told me about the new Mavic Air 2, I was really excited. And I was even more excited when they shared all the new specs this little beast has to offer. Right off the bat, this new drone will most likely be replacing not only my Mavic Air, but my Mavic 2 as well. Here's why.
What makes this ad incredibly valuable versus your typical YouTube ad, a traditional ad found in a newspaper or one on TV, is simply the value it's providing. If you think about it, when I say advertising, what do you think about and how does that make you feel? You probably think that it's value taking, because that's what most advertisement is. They're taking your time, your attention, and typically they're trying to ask for money if it's a direct sales advertisement. And generally when you think of advertisement, most people want the ad to end the second it begins. But what's different about this kind of advertising is that it's value giving. To make my point clear, think about the Super Bowl. Many people watch the Super Bowl for football, of course, but a huge addition to the actual game itself is the ads. Some people might even watch the Super Bowl just for the advertisements. How many times have you heard someone say, "Ooh, I'm excited for the Super Bowl ads this year"? It's actually quite a bit, right? Well, that's because Super Bowl ads can be value giving. They're not all value taking. Generally, they're humorous. There's some form of entertainment and humor within the ad. So you might watch 28 seconds of a humorous ad, and then at the last couple seconds, you get the ad promoting their product or their brand, essentially. But if you think about it, it's a fair exchange in your eyes. You're gonna get 28 to 29, maybe even 30 seconds of value in exchange for just becoming aware of a product. Sam's entire video is giving value. Look at the production value of his editing, videography, and the essence of the video. It's almost like a cool travel vlog, and honestly, this video doesn't differ from most of his other videos, which is why I think there's such high engagement, because it's hard to tell if it really is an ad or if it's just another one of his excellent videos. And I don't think anyone really cared that it was essentially an ad for DJI. And this point will be made very clear in just a moment.
And it also gives us the ability to shoot hyperlapses at 8K resolution. Now, before I go any further, I want to let you guys know about how I selected music for this project. Music is one of the most important pieces in my films, and typically finding the right song is the hardest part of putting together a solid video. But with MusicBed, I spend less time searching and more time perfecting my edit. To learn more about MusicBed and how you can sign up for a free 30-day trial, make sure to stay tuned till the end of this video to learn more. Okay, now back to the drone spec.
This dude basically put an ad within an ad, and no one was complaining. Think of how insanely valuable it is for a brand to be able to have an influencer make a video about their product, and how awesome it is, and people don't even care that there was another ad within the same video. This would be like if Coca-Cola made an ad on some television show and you're watching it, and right in the middle of it, Doritos is highlighted. Like, instead of seeing Coke on the screen, they have a big bag of Doritos chips and no one cares. But that's the power of providing value during an advertisement. People don't feel cheated even though they're hit with an adception, an ad within an ad.
At 570 grams, the Mavic Air 2 is 140 grams heavier than its predecessor, the Mavic Air, but it's still 330 grams lighter than the Mavic 2 or Zoom. As you can see, it's a decent size bigger than the original Air, but still much smaller than the Mavic 2. This means this drone is a much more appealing option to minimalist filmmakers who still want the most out of their drone, but for it to take up the least amount of space in their bag.
I think any company advertising a physical product should always include an unboxing element. There's a reason why unboxing is such an incredible popular niche within YouTube. People love seeing products being opened for the first time to see what the product feels and looks like. And I think what's important to the audience is feeling like they're experiencing the product themselves when watching the ad. That's what unboxing does really well. I think, in my opinion, by feeling like you're experiencing the product at that moment, you're way more likely to buy because mentally you can't distinguish between the difference between watching an ad versus actually owning the product. It actually feels like you have it in your hands. It makes you want it a little more. With the video advertisement lasting 5 minutes, all elements of the product can be featured and highlighted. If you're in the target market for the product, there is something so fundamentally different about seeing a generic, "Hey, I want you to buy this product," versus watching something like this. The power in this ad, and really the power of influencer marketing, is that you believe you will be able to replicate Sam's quality of video by purchasing the product. Even though we all logically know that there is a lot more to succeeding than simply buying a product, we still get sucked into the power of persuasion. A video like this is incredibly persuasive because it touches on all elements. Visually, we're able to see the product in use and the high quality it is. Orally, we're able to hear about the great specs and the features of the product through Sam's voiceover, and you add in some motivational music and it touches emotionally. It gets you a little uplifted, makes you motivated to go out and buy the product. In our history, I don't think we've ever seen advertising as effective as this. You could probably argue that some infomercials based on the direct sales, the pure sales numbers, were the pinnacle of direct sales advertising, but I can't remember a time where I was attentive during the full 6 minutes of an ad. I think the only element missing in this video is a segment where it feels more real. Because his production is ridiculously amazing, sometimes as a beginner it's hard to really put yourself in those shoes because you know that the gap between where you're at and where he is so vast it may take years. I think it would have been beneficial to have a little bit of a segment, maybe a short segment, to make it feel more real. Maybe take down the production quality, make it so that it doesn't feel like you're watching something used on a $10,000 camera. Maybe some type of little blooper or a joke in the middle of it using the product, and maybe it almost hits the tree but you're able to save it because the control was so easy to use. You know, something like that where the video quality isn't quite as high, I think would have had a little bit more of a positive effect, because this still feels like one of his vlogs, which is the highest quality and really hard to replicate if you're a beginner. But at the end of the day, this is still an amazing ad. I have to give it a 9.1 out of 10. Remember, advertisements could have many different goals, and I think this one touches on all the elements: brand awareness, brand equity. You also probably have a certain amount of people that are going to go out and buy this product. But most importantly, if you're watching this video and at some point you want to maybe be Sam Kolder, or maybe you want to make videos with similar quality, I think down the road, you're definitely looking at DJI first to look at the drones. I personally would probably buy this product after watching this ad. I'm in the market for buying a drone, and because of watching this video and seeing the quality, I absolutely anticipate being a consumer of this product, and that's why I gave it such a high score. And now let's discuss some data on influencer marketing. I think this segment is going to be really interesting for some of you who may not understand the game that influencers are playing. For reference, companies were willing to spend a reported $5.6 million for a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl. When you see how much influencers make from sponsored posts, you'd have to compare it to traditional advertising to understand the value that they provide. The next excerpt is from an article on Vox.com where the journalist interviews the co-founder of Viral Nation and answers the question, how much do influencers charge per post? His response: a micro-influencer, which is someone that has 10,000 to 50,000 followers, is actually pretty valuable. Hey, that's me. I'm pretty valuable apparently. They used to only pick a couple $100, but today they get a minimum of a few $1,000s a post. Influencers with up to 1 million followers can get $10,000 per post, depending on the platform. And 1 million followers and up, you're getting into territory where they can charge 100 grand. Some can even get 250 grand for a post, especially if the content is on YouTube and the influencer is in the gaming industry. That is really interesting insights. That might seem like a lot of money, but if you anticipate 3% of their initial viewers to purchase the product, then you just attracted 3,000 buyers for an influencer with 1 million followers like Sam Kolder. If the product is $10, you just moved $30,000 worth of product on a $10,000 investment. That's an easy business decision. But keep in mind that you're also building brand awareness, which is difficult to measure but will likely lead to sales down the road. And that's why influencer marketing is blowing up the ad budgets at major companies. According to Influencer Marketing Hub, influencer marketing is set to become an $8 billion industry this year. Compare the advertising done by most of these internet marketers that we really dislike to the ones Sam Kolder did. It's a night and day difference for building brand awareness and sales. It's crazy valuable to have consumers watch 6 minutes of your ad. Social media advertising has way more engagement than traditional advertising, and it drives significantly more sales due to the power of connection consumers have with these influencers. So let's compare these costs with traditional advertising. According to webfx.com, a national TV advertising campaign costs an average of $342,000 per 30-second ad. And that's with an untargeted audience who may not be paying attention. Think of how much money that is. $340,000 for a 30-second ad. It's easy to see why brands are paying influencers to promote their products. I mean, think of how much money they're paying for traditional TV that none of you probably watch. So the initial question I proposed to you was, how much would you pay for a Sam Kolder ad, 6 minutes on his channel? 200,000 views in the first week. So even if 0.1% of people who actually watch the ad buy the product, that's 200 purchases of an $800 product, meaning he influenced $160,000 of sales. Now let's estimate that you would pay him 10% payment for the sales. That would still be $16,000 for the video. If he did one of these a month, that's huge money. But also think if you're the brand, if you can spend $10,000 for the initial post and then $16,000 as a commission for the sales, you still, I mean, what, 26,000 turned to 160? I mean, that's crazy ROI. You do that all the time. And I think that's a fair value exchange. What do you think?